And then on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Richard, who's approaching counsel's table. Can you state your name for the court? And sorry.
Martez Richard.
And you're, sorry, Your Honor. There are two matters here. We do have discovery in one, but unfortunately, I believe there's outstanding discovery in the second. So we would be asking for a brief adjournment to obtain that discovery, continued discussions.
And that's correct, Your Honor. I did request that discovery in that case yesterday, and if we could be heard on bond as well.
All right. But you're requesting discovery on both cases, or an adjournment on both cases?
I am.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned March 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Your Honor, we were informed this morning by the victim that the defendant, when he was in custody, check this, he did try to call her number 6 times from jail when he was in custody. And since release, he's been trying to contact her by call, text, and Facebook. She has not answered, and she did file a police report with, was it YPD? With YPD, and so that could be future charges coming because of that.
Response?
Yes, Your Honor. So first of all, this is the first I'm hearing of this. I don't know whether the calls were made before or after the arraignment. Obviously, I think that's really crucial to know if the calls were made before he was told not to have contact with her or not. This is someone he's had a relationship with for 14 years. He has 4 children, this person, they've had kind of an off and on relationship for the past few months, but my understanding is she saw on Facebook that he was dating another woman and got very angry recently. Obviously, I would ask the court to continue his bond, obviously continue the no contact order until, and potentially even set this for bond violation on the 20th, but until we have further information about what that bond violation is, until we have the police report or until we have information that the jail calls were made after his arraignment. My understanding is he was given a PR and released pretty quickly after. So again, I don't know, but it's very possible those calls were made before he was actually told by the court not to have contact with her. And we haven't been presented any evidence whatsoever of the actual communication or attempted communication. So until that time, I would ask that the court continue his bond.
Also, I got my job. I'm supposed to be at work.
Okay. And the other thing is Mr. Richard is a manager still at Burger King, right? And he just got a new apartment. He had been working on getting this apartment through his caseworker for like 8 months, and he just moved into that new apartment. And I know he was extremely concerned about losing that apartment if he loses his job, which would, of course, be at risk if he was to be incarcerated.
And I've been homeless for 7 months.
Check the dates on the attempted calls from the jail.
All right. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll pass it momentarily, let them check the dates, compare them to the arraignment, make a good point in regard to that. But there are also other calls.
Yes, the victim informed us that he's been trying to text, call, and connect with her on Facebook multiple times. So she did file a police report on those.
On those things. Do we have a copy of that report?
Not yet. I believe she filed it yesterday. So we haven't received it yet.
Can somebody try to call over to YPD and see if that report's right? Just make the call. Please. I think I know what the answer is, but whatever. All right, I'm going to pass it, sir. You're not to leave the court.
Your Honor, I got my job.
Sir?
Because we don't even know what's going on. So just grab those 2 files.
Court calls the case People versus Martez Richard.
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Richard.
And Your Honor, I want to put on the record, we did reach out to YPD and were informed that we did in fact make a call for service yesterday. However, the report was not written yesterday because apparently the officer wasn't aware of the bond conditions in place. So we are working to get the report written today, and hopefully we'll have it by tomorrow. We did receive text messages from the victim screenshots, and some of those were from as recently as I think March 1st, as from the defendant.
And certainly after the date of arraignment.
Yes.
Jackie, I know it's going to be hard for you to respond because, gee, there's no client. The one that I told not to leave the courtroom.
That's
But
right.
I'll let you go ahead.
I haven't seen what the prosecutor is referring to. Obviously, I would ask if the court would consider setting the bond violation hearing for the 20th. And my client was eager to make some calls. I have no representations as to his whereabouts.
Well, and we were kind of informed that he had left the courtroom. So just so that the record is clear, and I had told him not to, that I had personnel check to see if he was still here or had just gone to the restroom or whatever. And he was not here at all. And had indeed left after being told by the court not to leave. So we will not be adjourning the probable cause because he's not here. He decided to he's here and left. So bench warrant will issue in both of these cases for defendant's failure to appear based upon his leaving as well as the preliminary representation to the people. No bond on both of these matters. Don't know where he thinks this is going to get him. And that warrant will issue immediately. And I think these are YPD cases. They are. So after we get that warrant issued, if you could ask the officers over.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township in both cases.
Good morning, I'm Charlotte Steffen on behalf of Andrew Party. Andrew, you say your name?
Andrew Party.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate on behalf of Andrew Party, still on the case ending in, 1090.
Got it.
You are?
All right.
I apologize, Your Honor. I believe Ms. Steffen has been appointed to both cases. Is that correct?
That was my understanding, Your Honor, but maybe I'm mistaken.
You have that?
I'm double checking.
Because I don't.
So I have her on case ending 0621.
Correct.
And then PD.
Yeah. So he has two attorneys. All right. So what are we doing on these cases? Because I think the first thing we need to deal with is bond violation. Stephanie, did you get a copy of that?
I did, and I have had an opportunity to discuss that with Mr. Party.
All right, why don't we deal with that?
Sure, Your Honor. So he admits that he has tested positive for amphetamine. He indicates that it's left over from a prescription.
It would be a month and a half long period.
Yeah, that's a lot of amphetamines that he would get possession of. If what he's indicating to you, counsel, is true, Mr. Allen.
I have about 10 more left in my script.
There's also a cocaine positive test. On
Yeah, I mean,
October,
that,
yeah.
Yeah, it was in August 26th. Does he have an explanation for that?
No, Your Honor, he's denying use of cocaine.
He's denying the use of cocaine.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he wants a hearing on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
But he admits to the use of amphetamine without a valid prescription.
I had a scripture. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I don't have one I don't have it with me here.
Is the amphetamine a prescribed medication that he's currently under prescription for?
So Judge, I think that the issue is that Mr. Party is saying that he was prescribed the medication.
They just cut
I
me
don't know
off
how old the prescription was. These were some pills that he was still in possession of from a prescription.
a couple months ago.
But is he currently under prescribed medication?
I've been taking Adderall since I was 7 years old, so it took 30 years. And this whole incident got me, my doctor cut me off cold turkey. It's just because of this whole thing, but I still had some
The
left.
doctor cut you off, so you shouldn't have been taking it.
Not because of that. He doesn't want me to be my doctor anymore. I'm not gonna, I got the paperwork. I'll send it to you. Just, I got this guy right now.
Okay, just so that I'm clear, I thought we were talking about an old prescription.
It is. Which
So
mom,
when did your doctor cut you off?
couple months ago, it's more like he just stopped being my doctor. You know, got into a thing, and it's just now I have to get a new doctor, CMH, and they're telling me I'm like weeks out. It's not easy trying to get back in.
Let's
I had to
try
go
it
through
this
counseling.
Let's try it this way. When's the last time you filled that prescription?
It's a couple months ago. And I had my mom hold on to my pills while I was homeless for the time being. Now that I'm back to work and everything else, I'd gotten back on them. I wasn't gonna wait till I started school again. It's not easy carrying those around. People keep stealing them. So yeah, I'd have my mom hold on to them. I feel like that's not a problem. I keep it at the house. I don't got a home.
What are we doing with the cases? I'll address this bond.
Your Honor, we are asking for an adjournment. We received some additional discovery yesterday, so we need some more time to review.
That's right.
I was going to be requesting an adjournment as well, Your Honor.
9 on both cases yes, the case ending. Ms. Steffens on which case? All right. Now in that case, I'll set a bond hearing, or I'll set a bond violation hearing. Regarding the use of cocaine for that same date of October 15th, 2025. I'll set that at 9 a.m. So he's not sure I quite understand, but I've got this cocaine in between the use of the amphetamines. Also, he didn't receive, he's indicating kind of the same thing, that he's on some prescription. This might have been avoided if it's indeed true. That he says he's currently on prescription, but then didn't provide documentation to community corrections. When community corrections then checked through their system, he's not currently prescribed a medication that would test positive for amphetamines.
Talking about the intake?
So if he's indicating that he gave that prescription to his mom, or that prescription does indeed exist, then he should have been able to provide it to community corrections, and he should have been able to provide it to the court. What I'm going to do at this time is defendant's bond is defendant's remanded. Counsel, if you can get that information to the court, then I'll reconsider that. Thank
See
you.
what I can do, Your Honor. Thank you.
Get security down here, please. they've got folks in the back, so I'm not so much worried about that. Court does call the case of the people versus Ishmael Davis.
I spell this for people. Rob Brunting on behalf of Mr.